Group 5 race to Laguna Seca, having seen the first Ford win in the hands of Lee in race 1, and we've got another Ford on pole position on this random grid. This time I was going to say it's Dubs, but Lee's been a bastard again and he's changed his livery, so we've actually got race 1 winner Lee on pole position in the Ford again. We've got alongside though the rather speedy Porsche, and that is the Momo Porsche in the hands of Martin. In fact, we've actually got all 3 Porsches really close on the grid here. We've got Martin, Dukes and Graham 2nd, 3rd and 4th. We've got Dom in 5th place in the BMW, ahead of Andy in the Nissan. Chrysler, Sam, Oz, Dubs ran out top 10, and then Mark and Coops start the final row of the grid, just syncing up. Lights ablaze on the Nissan, lining up in 6th place. And who's going to get away well off the front row? We've got a really good view here, and let's see the front 2, and that's a really good start from the Porsche, but then the Ford comes back even better. I don't know who's going to do this down into turn 1. It's going to be close. There's contact in the background, there's a couple of BMWs going up in the air, and I think Martin is going to have to concede position to the Ford, although Lee gives really good room. Martin had the opportunity to potentially drive around the outside. We've got a safety car situation now though, and Lee is in prime position in this one. In the background it was some of the BMWs I think involved, but Mark is also towards the back, which is roughly where he started. To be fair, he did start 11th I think. Coops is at the back, completely in 12th place, and all the cars are back together again. Chrysler is 10th, Oz is 9th, Dubs 8th. So championship contenders, even though we're talking very early stages at the moment. We have got Graham in 3rd, Oz in 9th. Lee was 4th after the first round, but I think he'll have leapfrogged Mark now, and we are back racing again. We haven't gone for the whole lap, and oh no, Martin's lost it in his Porsche, and Lee streaks away, but he's got Graham again in 2nd place. So can Graham do anything this time about the pesky Ford? It's going to be hard work, I think. Graham saying the lap time just wasn't there after a few laps with the tyres burning out. He's on the harder tyre. We've got a good battle developing here though. Martin has recovered to 3rd, but he's only just ahead of Dom. Dom knocking on the door of his first podium of the season. Don't throw it away, Dom. If you're going to do it, pull a nice clean move, but it's not going to be easy on that Porsche. This is not the best place on the track to try a move in a car that does not have the same straight line speed as your opponent. So I think Dom needs to just be patient here, and he really will have an opportunity. Graham's taken the lead for the first time. Lee must have made a mistake whilst we were watching this battle develop. Graham has actually inherited the lead, so Lee drops back to 2nd place. So that's crucial for championship points, and that's not good news from Mark or Oz's perspectives, because they are 7th and 8th at the moment, and they are the nearest competition to Lee and Graham in the championship. So Graham and Lee streaking out ahead. Dom can't keep up with that Porsche in these early stages, but you just watch as we get towards the latter parts of this race. The Porsches with their tyres, they will go off, and these slightly less powerful cars will come to the fore. So I wouldn't discount Lee from this victory just yet. We're only on the 2nd lap, don't forget, as we head through the corkscrew, down through the corkscrew. Lee controlling the car beautifully, Martin controlling the car very beautifully, because we know what a handful those Porsches can be. The number 30 Momo car, he gets a bit of a slide on, but stays ahead, and he's actually dropping Dom at the moment. Not to take anything away from Dom, he's doing a fab job today, and it's nice to see him running well. And another chap doing really well today is Dugamus, operating in 5th place at the moment. So hopefully he doesn't struggle too much with his tyres, because he could hold on to a decent points finish here. And then we've got Andy holding on just ahead of Mark. So we've got Mark and Oz very close to Andy on track. Now Andy's just keen on getting some points, but Mark is going through in the Ford, and if he's not careful, Oz might try and follow. He does, but Oz goes straight into the back. He completely miscalculates the brakes from what I could see there. Goes straight into Mark and takes him out. That's ruined both of their races, and of course their chance of gathering extra points for the title. I think Oz has realised his mistake actually. Good man, lets Mark go through, because that was looked pretty damning, to be honest. We didn't see it as it began, but it looked like there was just too late on the brakes, and that was it. So Graham leads ahead of Lee and Martin. Dom 4th place, getting more and more lonely actually because he's dropping back from Martin's Porsche. Dukes operates in 5th place still, so very impressive, and Andy very impressive, but he's just been done by Coops up the hill. A great job by Coops. Coops really struggled in that first race, and again actually loses it a bit through the corkscrew. Now Andy's going to try around the outside in the Nissan. There's flame coming out the side, but he can't do it, and I think he's lost out a chunk of time there, hasn't he? A few car lengths to Coops, but the thing is with Andy, he just wants to bring home some decent points in the Nissan and just see what it can do. He's not necessarily got to battle with every single car, so 7th place at the moment tentatively is a good result, and it would be his best result, but we don't want to jinx things. There's Chrysler and Mark. Chrysler, Mark and Dubs, they've all changed their bloody car colours. There's Dubs in a completely different car colour as well, but it's not serving him well, this particular livery. He should go back in the colour that he was in earlier, to A, stop confusing the hell out of me, and also it's clearly a faster car, the black, red and yellow one, because there is Lee running in 2nd place at the moment, still hanging on to it, but actually Graham really pulling a decent advantage, and Dom has got past Martin. We've missed that, sorry about that Dom, I've missed your pass. It was probably took a fair mistake from Martin because he had a decent gap over Dom, but Martin is in a good position anyway. Martin knows how to get podiums and win races. Dom is fairly new to this series, and certainly hasn't won in this series, but he's pretty handy, and I think we will see in time some victories, and it looks like he could be on for his first podium today. Dukes is 5th at the moment, with Coops putting him under pressure though, so Coops really ramping on the pressure, lights on, lights off. He's trying to psych him out. He gets through, but this is where the Porsches are so quick up the straight, and I wouldn't be surprised if Dukes goes for an outside manoeuvre, thinks better of it, backs out of it, maybe best. Coops is looking like he's on an absolute mission at the moment. Might as well let him go is probably Dukes' thoughts, and see where we end up at the end. Martin, huge slide though. Oh, we've caught that. Oh, that's really sad, because Martin was doing so well. He's holding the car, waiting for the guys to come through. Oh, he's holding it again, make sure he doesn't take out Andy. Oh, so patient, but it's so painful. He needs to, I would have put it in reverse I think by now, and got it round, because Martin now drops to the back, slides it round, gets going again. I definitely think I'd have put that in reverse. He was waiting for far too long there, one car after another. Lee is closing on Graham as we are into the second half of this race, so this is still not over yet. I was thinking it was a dead cert Graham victory, but look at the apexes that Lee's managing to achieve in the Ford at this stage, much tidier, and just 2.5 seconds away now. That's quite a chunk he's taken out in that one lap. Quick look at the best lap so far. Best lap was Graham, but last lap around pretty even between Graham and Lee, so let's see what's going to happen on this lap around. Mark is in a bit of a battle with Andy. Mark's really not having the best day of it. He's had fairly rubbish grid spots on the random grids, so he's not really had an opportunity to show what he's worth. His best lap, well, I think he's lacking fairly competitively, but he's obviously going to get stuck a bit behind these guys. You can just see there, Mark 125.1, so not quite as competitive as some of the other Ford guys, particularly Lee, but he has been battling for most of the race. He's probably not had a clear lap yet. He's looking for an opportunity to nab that 6th place from Andy. Andy in a really good position at the moment. I can tell you, out for the lead, Graham has pulled a little bit further away from, oh, Andy's got in the back of Mark. So Mark nipped up the inside brilliantly, and Andy almost took him out, but well recovered, boys, and good for Andy to back out that when he realised there was touching coming. There was a little bit of a touch, but it was recovered well. There's Dubs running 8th at the moment, ahead of Oz. Oz is sliding down the inside though, and the BMW is trying to make up some positions in the latter stages of this race, but he's a long way down from his championship rivals. Touches the gravel again, needs to keep it on track, otherwise he's going to struggle. But Oz, up until this race, has been pulling in some really strong results. It's going to be difficult for him to score huge points in this race, but he's trying to recover, and he has managed to get a few places back, at least since the incident with Mark early on. Chrysler in 10th at the moment, just holding on to the final point ahead of Martin, who was running superbly in that Porsche, and it's such a shame to see the spin get the better of him, but those cars are hard to control. We head up the hill now. Coops making a move on Dom. Coops really getting to grips with that car, isn't he? This time around there's almost some contact, not quite. This is a really good showing from Coops this time, and I feel so sorry for Dom, because this should have been his first podium, and it's now looking relatively unlikely. We do still have another lap to run, and out in front Graham is still leading this quite comfortably ahead of Lee, which is really good. Coops makes a mistake though. Dom tries to get away back past, can't quite do it, and they're actually catching on one of the back markers. I think it might be Sam's car. So Sam, having done such a phenomenal race in race 1, is struggling this time around, and we've got one lap left to run. These guys running basically the same field. Dom goes really deep in his BMW, and a little bit further back, let's see what's going on. Mark versus Dugamus, that is. So Dukes under pressure for that 5th place. Oh, Mark goes around the outside. I'm pleased for Mark, I'm sad for Dugamus, because Craig's been doing really well. I mean, let's be honest though, if he pulls this car back in 6th place, that'll be a phenomenal result anyway, and that'll match his best so far. But I was looking forward to seeing him getting his best result so far, and that's fairly unlikely now. But great job from Mark, good recovery, because he did start all the way back in 11th, remember. And Oz actually is next on the agenda, another man trying to recover, and he has got up past Andy, so Andy's dropping back to 8th now. And I've missed the leader again, because all the action's further back, but Graham takes a win in the Porsche. It's his 3rd of the season. Lee takes 2nd place, so these boys swapping round from race 1. Who's it going to be for the final podium spot? I think Coops is going to do it. It's well earned, to be fair. Either of these boys would have earned it, but Coops almost loses it. As they come up to the line, Dom's got to run. Is he going to take it? He can't quite get there, I don't think. As they come up over the line, Coops takes 3rd ahead of Dom. Great driving, boys, both of you. Excellent results. Mark, a great recovery actually. Really good stuff from Mark. Kept his cool after being pushed off, and various other difficulties getting up through the field. Dukes takes 6th, a great 6th in the Porsche. Well done. Oz also recovering in 7th place, so some good recovery points at least for Oz there. Andy takes 8th, so that is actually the best result for the Nissan so far, and some extra helpful points on the board there. Dubs a rather anonymous 9th, but it is still points, and it is points for Martin because he manages to get past Chrysler. I'm afraid Chrysler and Sam the only non-points finishers for this race.